What's up, everybody? You are listening to Metalocity, and we are your hosts. I'm Steven Steele.
I'm Stack the Ripper.
And we're going to be here rocking out with our socks out for the next 3 fucking hours.
Thank God, because I gave you that crooked eyebrow up over the monitor there. Like, dude, what?
Wrong show for that.
That's for the after hours show.
Right. Wrong after hours show. That's not this after hours show. So we, you know how it is in the world of heavy metal. You know, we have some shit set up, and then, you know, some things just can't work out the way you wanted them to be.
I do believe that one of your catchphrases now would be, hey, shit happens.
Yeah, shit happens. And tonight, some shit happened. So, our 8 o'clock interview with Robert Bolger, Nick Menza's manager, has been rescheduled to next week. We're actually going to pre-record the interview, I think, this time around. And then we are going to promote it on, or he's going to help us promote it on his end. But unfortunately, due to some circumstances that were out of his control, he was unable to come on. So, and it's cool, you know, it happens. So, and I, of all people, get that, you know. People go out, people are on vacation, you got a job, you got to fucking be that guy who, you know, carries the weight, you know.
Yep, that's true.
Because who else is going to do it? So, that's cool.
I believe your perfect terminology for that was bearing the cross. Or
yeah. Metalocity, the cross I drag behind me. So, but we do have some cool fucking throwback shit going on tonight. You know, I hate to steal any of Martin's glory, because he's totally the throwback guy on this station.
He is.
Yeah, and he hooks that shit up, so check him out on Monday nights as well on Kosher Metal. But tonight, we're going to hear some Witch Haven.
Witchcross.
Witchcross.
And Ravensthorn.
I mixed the two. I was thinking Ravensthorn, and I started saying the other one, and you know, it got mixed up.
Well, we have Count William coming on.
That's right, Count William. He's coming on here just at 7:30, and we're going to talk about what's going on with the bands, you know, what he has been up to, and his level of involvement with, you know, multiple bands. What a challenge, right?
It is. You know, I would imagine
it's like having 2 wives. Gee.
Oh, it's having like more than 2 wives.
Not in America. You can't have 2 wives in America because American women are like, fuck you, give me your paycheck. You know.
But all those other countries where you get paid in like rubles or
right, you could slap someone down. It doesn't mean nothing. You'd be like, oh. Yeah.
Oh,
see,
man.
I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that I get that, you know, shit happens, and
I'm not saying right or wrong.
I don't write the rules. I just read about them mainly. Shit, I don't even follow them. What are rules?
Rules are those things that are meant to be broken.
This is a pirate fucking show. We don't care about no damn rules.
I don't think we're pirated.
Our attitude's you pirate.
Oh, okay. Arr.
There you go.
Now you're getting into it.
And then at 9 o'clock, unfortunately, that's what's that late in the show, Pacific time. Stay tuned, because we're going to have, I believe his name Jason.
Jason
right?
McMaster from
Jason
Dangerous
McMaster
Toys.
From Dangerous Toys. We're pulling it back from some throwback glam metal, man. But you know what? At the time, that's what was cool. You know, everybody was rocking out to that. They sold tons of shit. They had popular fucking songs all over the place.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're pretty honored that they're willing to come on the show and take this time to let us know what's been going on with the band. You know, I guess, you know, they're still hooking it up.
They're almost in their fucking 30-year anniversary.
Yeah, and I know, right? That's crazy to think about.
Right?
So stay tuned for that, because that's going to be a fun interview. I'm sure it is. These guys have been around, man, so they know what's up. It's going to be cool.
I can't say anything more than that. It's going to be cool.
So, check us out, Metalocity.net. We post up some of our past interviews, some of the ones that we find that are entertaining. We have pictures of our ugly mugs.
Sorry about that.
Check us out on Facebook. You can like the show. Just look up Metalocity on Facebook or Twitter or not Facebook, Instaface. No.
Instagram?
Instagram.
Instafacer?
Right.
Twit?
Facegram. You know what? I'm just going to call it that.
Wouldn't it be like...
Facegram twit. I'm just going to merge it all into one thing.
It'd be
like us on the social media world.
Twins to Bag fan.
Yeah, that sounds like a country you don't want to be involved with.
Where they like flog you and give you public fucking beatings and shit.
They have plenty of
Where
oil,
they don't give a
wanna
fuck
share
and
it.
giving the smackdown to somebody.
Right.
See how it all ties in, people?
You hear it, la, 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 on one side, on the other side of it. It's all confusing.
You got robes and then bedazzlers.
Yep. Bedazzled robes. It's a thing.
That'd be crazy.
All right. Speaking of crazy, let's get into some crazy right about now.
Metal.
What's up, everybody? We are back for some reason right now with this incredibly short-ass talk break. I must have put this in there on accident. One slipped by me. I just heard the music and I was like, oh, cue the lips. Time to talk. And I'm looking at it, and we're only talking for 6 minutes. I don't know, 5 minutes now.
Well, you know. Hey,
yeah. Christopher Lee died today.
Yeah, I know, huh? And so did Dusty Rhodes.
And so did Dusty Rhodes.
There's a bunch of actual celebrity deaths that we haven't covered at all.
Who's going to be the third for today?
Let's see here. For today? It doesn't have to happen in a day, does it?
Well, no, but it seems like we have a trend going to if 2 celebrities died today, a third celebrity dying today would kind of...
Be shitty?
It raises the bar of evil.
Well, you know, day's not over yet.
That's true.
That was a nice line from City Slickers. Hey, Curly, kill anybody yet? Or kill anybody today? Nope.
You could kick the bucket anytime.
Day ain't over yet.
Yep.
Dude, there's a... We neglected to talk about... Briefly, we talked about B.B. King, but we didn't do it too crazy of it.
Sure we did. We got into it. We had some conversation. I talked about what the show I was at. Yeah, we played a song. We threw a little tribute.
The dude who's the mathematical genius that A Beautiful Mind was chronicled by died in a car crash on the 23rd of May. That's pretty crazy. The Hot Chocolate singer, known for their 75 hit "You Sexy Thing," died on May 6th. Dude, yep, Hot Chocolate lost their singer. Ellen Albertini.
Was he a stiff Albertini?
Ellen Albertini? Ellen's the little old grandma in all the films. The one that sang The Wedding Singer. Hip hop, hippie to the hip.
Oh, that lady.
Yeah, she died. She was 101.
Damn.
She died on May 4th. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Where is it here? The Kingsmen. The bass player for the Kingsmen. Jack Eli.
Oh, yeah, the Kingsmen.
From their 63 rendition of the song Louie Louie. Uh-oh. We got a call coming in.
Let's take it.
Hello, you are on air with Metalocity.
Hello, it's Count William from Witchcross and Ravensthorn. How you guys doing?
We're doing good, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's great to be on here. How you guys doing?
Well, you know, metal, and more metal.
That's about it. All metal,
Thanks
all
for
the
having
time.
me on the show. I just wanted to say infernal greetings to everyone out there.
Infernal greetings. I like the way that sounds. That's awesome.
Thanks for coming on the show. We got a chance to check out. Let's see. We heard Restless Spirit, Witchcross, and we heard Buried in the Basement, Ravensthorn, which, incidentally, that's pretty sick.
Yeah.
I dig it.
Oh, thanks a lot. Yeah, that was off the second one, Hauntington Possession, back out in 2004, and Restless Spirits, that was off the Crypt of the Undead, brand new album that we just put out in March. That one's really doing good right now.
That's awesome, man. Oh, the music sounds awesome.
Oh, thanks a lot, man.
Just how difficult is it to manage being the singer in 2 bands that are...
I was going to ask that. That's got to be tough. You just went out there with the big guns and asked the straight question.
Well, you know, you get the white elephant out of the room here.
Yeah, that's a question a couple people have addressed with me, but there's something that kind of makes it work out really well is that mostly right now I'm focusing with Witchcross, and at the time when Ravensthorn was a little more a little busier, we at that point Witchcross was taking kind of a small break, so I kind of make, right now I'm trying to balance both, but Witchcross is still a little more prevalent in my music career right now. But the guys from the first Ravensthorn House of the Damned album, which was re-released last winter around Christmas time,
right?
The lead guitarist Greg Vertine and I have kind of regrouped, and we brought back our bassist that was the guy Jeff Taylor that played with us during our 2005 Germany trip. And right now we're working on auditioning new drummers, and we're kind of bringing that album, the resurfacing of that album kind of brought about like kind of a semi-reunion, but we're not going to use the same drummer. We're bringing a new drummer in. So, but that's kind of being put together right now with new material and so forth. But in the meantime, Witchcross is like really, we're going straight ahead. We're booking all kinds of shows, and we're working on new material for the next album, because one thing that I kind of worry about is, leaving too much time in between albums.
For sure.
Like I did when I was a little younger, and now that, time goes by, I just want to keep on nailing out one album after the next. So
that's cool. I'm sure. And
right now we're focusing on
that.
Crypt of the Undead, but we're working on the next one.
That's cool.
Yeah, you gotta always remain relevant in people's minds.
Oh, yeah. So you guys are based out of California, or where are you from?
Yeah, Southern California.
Yep, we're in the Ventura County area.
That's awesome. I had a feeling, but yeah, I've been doing a few interviews mostly on the East Coast lately, and then there was a couple from right around here that I did like right before the album came out, and now I'm, it's kind of cool though that people are getting to hear about it, in quite a few places. I'm trying to really, we got a lot of promotion initially from Europe because with the label being in Germany, actually it was two labels, Metalizer and Battle Cry, kind of worked together. And they've really, given us a big push and, helped us with the distribution and all. So that's going really good.
Very cool. Very cool. So, it's a, how would you describe the genre? As a horror or occult genre?
I would kind of say that, that with Witchcross, it's kind of a classic, melodic doom metal. But, both bands kind of fall, both Ravensthorn and Witchcross kind of fall under what I like to call horror metal. It's kind of like, a similar influence like King Diamond and Merciful Fate.
Oh, okay.
It has a real heavy Sabbath, a real heavy Black Sabbath and Coven influence, like, with that whole 70s occult metal, occult hard rock kind of influence from back in those days. It has kind of a strong 70s influence, but then it has the heaviness of, like a little bit of the thrash genre, kind of mixed in there. But you still feel that real heavy Sabbath groove going on.
That's cool.
Now, with those kind of bands that you mentioned there, they have like at least a moderate stage show or some sort of going-ons on the stage.
Yeah, that was pretty good in the 70s. Bands were really into the theatrics of their shows.
Oh, yeah, we're huge in both bands. Right now, like I said, I'm focusing a little more on Witchcross, but eventually later in the year, I'm going to be doing some more with Ravensthorn again, too. But like I said, both bands have a real heavy, mostly just me, actually, because, I'm the singer in both bands. The other guys are more, just pretty much into what they're doing musically, but then they just kind of, let me kind of take over as the ringmaster of, of the ceremonies going on stage, just basically the whole,
that's a cool way to put it,
vampirish kind of thing, and the all kinds of decorations and all that stuff, and the outfits I wear and all that kind of like the vampirish thing and the blood and all that stuff.
That's cool.
That's kind of something I've a lot of people have also asked me, this is another thing, is they said, well, how long, have you been doing that, and all that, which is something I've been doing like throughout my life, since I was, I started singing like around 17 or so. Well, I mean, professionally, but
yeah, I was gonna say, it says
it was always kind of like that theatrical thing was very important to me the whole time.
Says you started your first band when you were 15.
Yeah, it was Nocturnal Doom, but like we didn't really. I wouldn't say it was like when I was 15, but it didn't really get to a point where we were actually doing like professional kind of shows till between 17 and 18 years of age. That's when it got more serious, and then that's when we started getting into studios and stuff like that. And then it was like it just kept on going, and then by the time I was like about 19 or 20, that's when our drummer and bassist had switched. The lead guitarist, Derek Anderson, had been with me, since the beginning. We were friends in high school. And then, around the time we were about 20 years old, we put Roger Massey and Gary Pedersoli, which is the bassist and drummer that have stuck with Witchcross all along. We put them in there at that point. And,
that's cool.
And then we did the first self-titled Witchcross album in 1993, but we had already made a Nocturnal Doom album, Shades of Despair, in 1991. But at that point, in those days, we didn't have like European labels, that were willing to do our stuff. So we were basically just printing, things, going to duplication companies and sending stuff out.
Yeah,
it was more like a demo / But one thing I never did was, I never wanted to do just like a demo. We always did like a full length, like 8 or 9 songs. I'm like, if it's going to be a demo, might as well make it an album, because if it never gets signed, you might as well just call it an album anyway. And
right. You know what? I totally dig that philosophy. For one, me personally, I'm a huge fan of stage shows, and I, hate when you buy a demo and it has like 2 or 3 songs on it. It's like getting a taste, but, not the whole plate. I don't know.
And EPs are just pretty much a cock tease, too,
Just call it a CD if it's an EP, right?
Yeah, I know. I hate that EP thing, too, because it's like, it's one thing, a lot of people put out these EP demos, and they're hoping, well, I mean, if you know for a fact that you're going to get like a label or 2 or 3 labels that are interested or something like that, and you do that, that's one thing. But if if you're trying to move forward and be serious and then you put out this little tiny thing, and then you don't know if it'll be another year or so before you put out an album, it's kind of
that's the challenge.
It's better to just go in there the first time and just do something full length, and then if you don't get signed, or if that's just you put it out yourself, or even the time that it takes to make the next one, at least you give the fans enough stuff to listen to.
And you're constantly
because some people will get
goal.
Stuff that don't live close enough, or they don't get to see you live. You got to put out like a good length album, or something to give them something to listen to if they can't make it to your show or something like that, to give them a taste of what you're all about. That's how I believe it.
Yeah, well, I completely concur with that philosophy.
So,
all right.
So you said that the lineup for Witchcross has stayed absolutely the same since 92, 93, you said?
Yeah, it's been a rough ride, but
that's pretty damn good.
In the early days, it took off, and it was going really strong, and we had the first album out, and we were playing all over the place, and everything was going great. And then a couple of years went by, and it was a little bit harder to, in those days, because we were all a lot younger, and we didn't really have steady, incomes at all, and we were just kind of trying to, do everything with the band, and we had our jobs and all that stuff, but it was kind of tough, and we weren't as focused, in our early 20s, we thought we had all the time in the world and all that, so we were just kind of, I think we kind of started slacking at points, and then everybody in the band was, had side interests, and I had like some stuff going on with, trying to do other side projects musically, which one of them was a band called Shadow Lord, and I did 2 full-length CDs with them, and then I, started drifting from that into Ravensthorn, and the whole time I was doing that, I kind of wanted to keep Witchcross together, but I felt like at that point, you know, it was like I wanted to get a little more serious. And at that point, we kind of were reaching like a little slowdown point because, you know, some of the guys were having some stuff going on. They wanted to take a short break, but they still wanted to keep the band together. So I kind of told them I was going to do, you know, some other things, but I still wanted to keep it together. So I started doing Ravensthorn, and then that started taking off. We did the House of the Damned album in 2001.
Right.
And, well, throughout the 90s, like, you know, I told you I was doing the Shadow Lord thing, too. And
Right.
it was like it was just becoming so many side projects. But, you know, throughout the years, as you know, there was 3 Ravensthorn albums. There was House of the Damned and Hauntings and Possessions. That was the second one that had Buried in the Basement that you played earlier. And then we did Horrors of the Black Mass in 2012. So, but all along, you know, I kind of wanted to get back and do a really good Witch Cross album. And we tried doing one in 2008. It was called Innocence and Evil, but it just didn't feel to me like we had the right I knew for a fact we didn't have the right producer, number one, and I didn't feel like we picked the right material to make the album really stand out. And so we, you know, things, you know, kept going on, and we kept jamming more shows, and then I kept doing stuff with Ravensthorn, and we had written another project that didn't really work out that well. So I talked to all the guys in Witchcross again, and they were like, let's give it another shot for like making like our best album we could ever make. So we talked about it. We started putting material together last year at the beginning of the year. It seemed like Witchcross got more serious than ever, you know, like between the end of 2013 and the beginning of 2014.
That's cool. You got the
and then
fire
we started
in it,
hitting the studio. And then in August, we did Crypt of the Undead in the studio, and it went through the mastering and all that stuff, and it finally came out in March of this year.
That's awesome.
Now with Ravensthorn, you guys have had a bunch of lineup changes. Is that kind of discouraging when it comes to writing new material, as when you have to relearn all the old stuff?
Yeah, it was terrible. I mean, it was really hard on to describe the whole situation. It was, you know, I enjoyed different aspects of the different lineups, but I never really wanted that to happen that way. It was like we started, you know, with Tony Barr on drums and myself on vocals and Greg Berthine on lead guitar and Mario Sanchez on bass, and we kept that lineup for the first 2 albums, House of the Damned in 2002 and Hauntings and Possessions in 2004. And then right before the Germany trip came along, that was when there was a Hellion Records from Germany wanted to put out the second album,
Cool,
Hauntings and Possessions, and they wanted us to come out on and do the Headbangers Open Air Fest. And so we agreed to do that, and we were all excited about it. But our bass player at the time, Mario Sanchez in Ravensthorn, he had some things going on, and he didn't seem like he wanted to go out to Germany for some reason. And we couldn't understand why, because it was like the most exciting thing to us. But
for sure,
I think he freaked out or something. So then we talked to a few people, and our guitar player Greg brought Jeff Taylor, who's the guy who's coming back into the band now. He brought him into the band then, and that worked out really good. At the time, we went out there and we did the 3 dates, and it was just. Actually, we did 2 of 3 dates. There was supposed to be 3 dates, but we just did the first 2 dates. It was both about, you know, one was like a warm-up festival, and the second day was like an outdoor festival, and they were both incredible, though. It went really good. But like you said,
that's awesome.
Getting back to the question of about lineup changes, you know, after that we returned, and there were several other things that happened before the third album, you know, Horrors of the Black Mass. And a lot of people had changed throughout that time because my drummer at the time, I won't blame it on him. It's not all his fault. It's partially, you know, just everything that was happening.
Right.
At the time we were going through musical changes, and we were trying to go, you know, a little heavier and stuff, and people were, you know, expressing differences over which direction they wanted the band to go in. And, you know, and I kind of wanted to always keep it heavy and scary. And, you know, some of the guys in the band didn't want to, you know, pursue the horror metal thing after the first, album or two. They kind of wanted to try and change directions to maybe go a little bit lighter subject wise or something. And I was like completely in
thinking the other way,
complete, yeah, I disagreed with that whole approach. I wanted to keep it completely, like, if not making it, I kind of wanted to just go even darker with each album. So that's what we decided to do, and we kept going that way. But like you said, people came in and people left. And by the time we did Horrors, we had Jeff West on lead guitar, Bill Hall lead guitar, Scott Trubich on bass, but it was the same drummer, Tony Barr, and me on vocals. But, that even changed a couple times. We did a couple trips during that era out to New York, and every time we went, there was like somebody different leaving or coming back to the band. So, yeah, I was really frustrated with that whole thing. That's probably why I kind of decided to go back towards Witchcross and stay with the same lineup. It's a lot easier to work musically and just friendship-wise, too.
For sure.
Go ahead.
So I was going to say, because we have like 3 minutes left, I just wanted to throw this out there. In your experiences of doing shows, what are some of the most, well, let me say that differently. What's the most memorable, crazy experience that has happened during one of your guys' shows?
Oh, I would have to say, I brought this up at another show, too. This is kind of a funnier one. It's not so serious, but in the early days of Nocturnal Doom, right before we became Witchcross, there was a night when we played at this show in Maryville, Indiana. It was at this place called The Rink, and like the whole place was filled with people. We had like our, all our people there, and they had not, they never had told me that there was like this big giant plank that like sticks down, underneath like part of the door when you're headed out of the backstage dressing room kind of area,
right?
And you have to pass through like this little tunnel and stuff, like in the complete darkness, and then you come out of this tunnel and you're supposed to duck under this wood plank and then come out onto the stage. But they had like all the fog machines going and everything, and I was coming through there, and I was all excited. I'm only like about 18 at the time, so I don't even really get that nervous going on stage now, but back then I was like terrified. I'm just like,
for sure.
I'm like, okay, let's go do this. I'm just like freaking out. I'm like, got my black cloak on and everything. I'm walking in the dark. I'm like, where is the stage? I'm just like, bang! All of a sudden that wooden plank just like completely cold cocks me in the head, and almost, man, I feel like I had a concussion, and I just went out there and I still did the show anyway with blood coming down the side of my head. But
that's metal.
Adds a little bit more to the stage show, I guess.
Damn.
Another thing that was cool, crazy in those days, I went instead before. Well, everybody knows about with doing the blood and stuff now, but
right.
There was a point when I was really young where we used to come out on stage and I would throw up pea soup like The Exorcist. But I gave that up after a while. It was just too nasty.
Got sick of the pea soup?
Really bad smell after a while. It was crazy, though.
That's classic. That'd probably throw people.
But hey, I just wanted to, if I could, for 1 second, I wanted to, for people that in the Chicago area, because when I'm in nearby areas, I know this is going out in California, but if I do share a rebroadcast or whatever, I just wanted to put these show dates in there. That June 27th coming up, we're playing at the Livewire Lounge with Psychomancer, Godless America, Blood Throne, and Purge.
Nice.
That's in downtown Chicago. And then August 21st, we're doing the Midwest Metal Anthem Fest, and that's at the Chicago Star Bar, formerly known as Bobby McGee's. And July 18th, we're playing with Hellgrind at Sopranos, and that's in Griffith, Indiana. Just wanted to throw those out there.
That's cool.
And you can contact us at witchcross.com.
I was just going to say, so if people, you have your tour dates posted on your website, so people can just go there and
it's on witchcross.com. And I'm very thankful that my bass player, Roger Massey, and his wife have been, revamping the whole website. So there was a point where that website had seemed like it was getting a little outdated, but now they've just recently revamped the whole thing. It's like got all the tour dates. It's got some new songs on there. And
cool.
and everything. So if you're looking, you can find the remastered, re-released Ravensthorn House of the Damned. It's out there on YouTube. I mean, on eBay. And Witchcross Crypt of the Undead, the re-release, that's out there on eBay, and it's also on witchcross.com. And if you go to eBay, you could just look up Count Bloodwind. I have my own eBay site that has all Witchcross and Ravensthorn stuff on there. So
cool,
very cool. In the closing seconds here, possible to get you to do a Metalocity ID bump.
That would be fantastic.
Cool,
Excellent.
man.
And I just wanted to say thanks and many infernal hails to everybody listening, and thank you for having me on the show. It's been a real pleasure.
Hey, man, thanks for coming on. Really informative information.
Thanks a lot.
So we get you to do that bump real quick. Ready whenever you are?
Yeah, that's fine.
Go for it.
Okay. This is Count William on Metalocity Radio. Join us for the heaviest of all metal in the midnight hour.
Awesome.
That was killer.
We'll be sure to throw that into the mix. Thanks, man, and we look
All
forward
right,
to.
thanks a lot, man.
Feel free to contact us anytime. We'd love to have you guys on the show again. You know, when you got.
And if you could let me know, if you or send me some sort of an email or something through Ben or something, and let me know when, if I can, get the recording of the, download or the show and stuff.
We'll probably have that edited out this weekend, and we'll definitely shoot that over to you.
Oh, thank you very much.
All right,
I had
man.
a pleasure. It's great.
So we look forward to hearing from you again. Thanks for coming on the show.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks a lot, guys.
All right, man. Have a good one.
Later.
All right, man. Wow, that's a busy guy.
Yeah, it is.
It's a lot of
He's switching back and forth between bands right there, dude.
Right, and that's a tough job, man. Being the front man. Just being the front man for a band is a tough job. But
I think it's pretty cool that that Witchcross has had the same lineup. That
is cool. And you know what? I have to give the guy credit. You know what? It actually shows his dedication to his profession.
That's
the fact
true.
that when, we're going to take kind of a break, he's like, well, you know what? I'm going to keep on doing this because this is what I do.
You go ahead and have your break. You take 5, and I'll have to go ahead and...
And when you guys are ready, give me a call because I'll be doing my thing. So that's cool.
That's how
I totally respect that.
It's how I do.
Right. So, it looks like it's metal time. Let's do it.
Metal.
What's up, everybody? We are live and loud right here. Obviously, we are not doing our 8 o'clock interview. We had to reschedule that. We will be doing a dope pre-recorded interview this Tuesday, and we will be airing that for you this Thursday.
Indeed. So it looks like, what's his face that died?
What's his face?
Yeah, the Sir Christopher Lee.
Oh, right.
Did he die today? I don't think so.
Either today or last night.
Where is it here?
Come on, man. You got the internet right in front of you.
Well, we did have 3 celebrities die today.
Oh.
But Christopher Lee
Mattress
did not die.
actresses don't count.
No.
Okay.
No. Legit.
Okay,
legit
let's say, instead of saying today, let's say within a 24-hour span.
Nope. It looked like he died sometime in the past week.
Oh, really?
On the 7th.
On the 7th at 7?
Ooh, I don't know if that happened. But he died on the 7th.
That'd be gnarly.
Let's see. Today we had Dusty Rhodes, British actor Ron Moody, Jack King, Ornette Coleman, a saxophonist and free jazz pioneer, and Jim Ed Brown, American country singer.
Wow.
So far.
Well, the year's still young.
And yesterday, Bone Crusher died.
That's terrible.
In case you're wondering, Bone Crusher is a New Zealand thoroughbred racehorse.
Yeah, it sounds metal, though. There should be a dude called Bone Crusher.
I feel like it should be like a WWF or WWE skit. Bone Crusher. I'm sure there has to have been a Bone Crusher in wrestling.
Right. Or a band or something. That has had to have popped up at least once.
Bone Crusher? Dude, if it hasn't, we're announcing our new project, Bone Crusher.
Like Facepalm Death?
Face palm death.
That's our new metal band we're starting.
That's too fucking
Not
funny.
to be confused with napalm death.
Face palm death. It'd be like that one face palm where he's like through his head.
Right.
Oh, that's fucking funny.
Oh, I love it.
Look at that. On the 9th, the Ukrainian photographer took first pictures of Chernobyl. He died in a traffic collision.
Coincidence?
I think not.
If Unnamed Source was here, he would rip that story apart, I bet.
Oh, and Pumpkinhead, a rapper. Pumpkinhead.
Wow. American rapper Pumpkinhead.
Yeah.
Oh, I never heard of him, but he was only 39. Damn.
Yeah. That's crazy. And look,
Yeah.
Bacon died. Paul
Bacon will never die.
Paul Bacon.
Huh. I don't know. I'm not familiar with anything that he's associated with.
No. He's a book and album cover designer. And jazz musician. Oh, jazz musician.
Did he do the Metallica artwork?
I don't think so. That's Pusshead.
Is it still? Has it always been?
Pusshead was their, like, the cool shit that they had.
Right, I
That was
know.
always, like, the bitch and skulls and,
Yeah.
and shit that you saw, but I don't know if they
veer
use him
away
anymore.
from that? Huh. Bummer.
I wonder if that dude's on, like, Facebook or whatever. Pusshead.
They would never do that nowadays, huh? They're just not metal enough to come out like that. They want to be more of a mainstream. You know, oh, it's Metallica, radio friendly.
Yeah, well, radio friendly? Radio ready, maybe. I wouldn't say friendly, but
Give it time.
Lulu wasn't exactly friendly to anybody or anything.
And somebody told them, yeah, that's a good idea. Whoever that guy was should be fired. Ugh.
If he
Sorry,
wasn't,
I was
man,
yawning at
that's
the
all
same
good.
time. I bore myself with my speech.
Look at that. Pusshead artwork, prints. Dude, wow, you can get a bunch of stuff from this dude.
That's cool.
Yeah, dude. Look at that. Septic Death? What? Oh, it's a hardcore punk band. Wow, it was formed by him. I thought it was going to be the Wilhelm. Dang it. Yeah, he's done a bunch of shit, dude, and he's actually pretty prevalent in the punk and heavy metal scene.
Huh.
Done a bunch of work for artists and athletes. Misfits? No shit. Oh, look at that. He designed a pair of Nike SB Dunks.
You don't say.
You're a funny guy.
Oh, man. You know what? There's a lot going on in the world of rock. There's always a lot going on in the world of rock.
That's true.
What's going on in the world of rock? Fuck, I don't know. Too much to keep up with. I just know there's a lot of it. I know J.J. Downing came out on...
KK Downing?
KK. I say JJ. I
Yeah.
don't know why I said that. KK. KKK Downing on Leaving Judas Priest. He wasn't happy with the band's live performance. Well, you know what? You could work to improve that shit. I don't know if leaving the band is necessarily the answer. You'd be like, look, hey guys, you...
That's a fucking straight up... That KK Downing and... fuck, what's the other dude's name? Glenn Tipton. That's like the iconic guitar duos of our time, dude.
Hey, finally, Duff McKagan teaches you how to be a man. Exclusive
Are you sure?
video.
Who taught him?
That's what I'm wondering. Phil Rudd won't be playing AC/DC's Final Rock or Bust shows in New Zealand.
You mean the same dude that they pretty much kicked out of the fucking band?
Right. Whether he's free or not. What is, or not? Like, if he was in prison, they would let him out to do that show? What the fuck?
Would you think they would?
I'm not entirely sure.
See, where was that the other day that unnamed source brought up?
You like butcher babies?
Not really.
Okay, fuck them, Ned.
Oh, another Judas Priest news. Richie Faulkner, the guitarist that replaced KK Downing, said that Priest will definitely, or is definitely talking new music.
Well, here's dedication. Check this out. Spanish Iron Maiden fan says he's seen the band live 230 times.
Is that the...
Fernando Leal.
Is that the the reverend for the Church of Maiden.
Traveling from Mexico to Australia to India and even Dubai.
Dubai, even, huh?
Yeah. Crazy. How does he get money to go to a show in Dubai? I can't even get money to get extra cheese on my burgers, and this guy's flying to Dubai. He must be in the cartel business.
I wonder if he's the priest in the Maiden. I wonder if he truly is.
If he's what?
If he's they have that religion down in South America? The
Santeria? Oh, no, that's the evil shit.
Yeah, no, the other one.
I don't know any other one. I only know the evil shit. Sorry.
There's an actual Iron Maiden church.
Oh, sure, why not? Fuck
right?
it.
Where the hell is that story that unnamed source was bringing up?
Hey, 24 years ago, Skid Row. Right.
Oh, too funny.
Fuck this story. I was going to say 24 years ago, Skid Row released Slave to the Grind. That was 24 years ago today. In case anybody gives a flying.
No, I don't even give a low flying.
Here's some words of wisdom from Geezer Butler. If God could see us killing each other in his name, he'd be disgusted. Wow. This dude should get a Nobel Prize for that sort of fucking inherent wisdom. That's a gift.
Geezer Butler.
Yep. Thanks, Geese.
Oh, man. Oh, what a bummer. Metal Alliance tour was canceled.
Yeah. Yep. You know what? And I was funny you bring that up. You remind me, the guys who put on... you were talking... Okay, this is all tying together now. Unnamed Source was talking about a story that we were talking about how the promoter or the guys who run the Mayhem Festival approached the members of Pantera for a reunion during the Mayhem Festival.
Yeah.
They also had to cancel one of their other big festivals, a couple of them actually. So, you're used to seeing these happen, but they said that they just, the bands were getting more expensive and, they're making less money doing it, and, people just aren't coming out and showing the love like they used to, I guess. And he went on to say that he thought some of that was due to a lot of, basically the white noise of a lot of music today. I mean, I hate to say that. I mean, we support independent metal, and it's hard to get your shit out there. So, but at the same time, if every band sounds the same, I mean, it's hard to draw that distinction about, who's doing that unique thing that really catches my ear. I heard Meshuggah. I don't need to hear like 12 bands that sound like Meshuggah. I mean, that's cool, but not necessary.
Unless they're taking a new approach on it, though.
Exactly. I mean, play something that I haven't heard before. That's what it's all about. Or really project the attitude that you're really having a good time, like party type music. That's one of the reasons I really like Night Demon. You can really just rock out to all their songs. It's appropriate for any situation.
That's true. I'm trying to look for that. Oh, yeah, there it is right there.
Yeah, no Uproar Festival this year. That's what it was.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The Uproar. I went to the first Uproar, and that was pretty cool.
Yep, there will not be one this year.
Of course, that was with Avenged Sevenfold and Disturbed, so you would have had no...
Right. But in the 50 seconds we have left, I have always been saying, for anybody who's been listening to the show, that there will be a Pantera reunion / tribute. There will be. And this just sort of solidifies what I was saying. And everybody was like, oh, no, there's animosity. They can never talk. Money talks. And in small increments, they're getting tidbits. It's called fishing. They want to see how people are going to react if there is a Pantera reunion. Once they realize that they're going to pull in the millions, and that might, help out actually the face of rock and roll and heavy metal, because right now it's kind of suffering, Yeah. It might give it that boost up, Because wouldn't you want your band to be playing on the bill that Pantera reunion is happening on?
Definitely.
It would be just sick to go to the show, but to actually have your bill on that band, that's it. We're shutting up. Let's get to some music.
Metal.
Chicka chicka down now. Chicka 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 down now. We know that's why you tuned in. You just want to hear me going chicka chicka down now.
That's why I would tune in.
That's the worst.
What's the worst?
We missed our cue by like 15 seconds easy.
It's a cue. That's a mere suggestion.
It was more of a why.
Oh, well, we were discussing important matters.
Yes, we were.
So you think that dude's just in it to try and cash his part of the Pantera reunion check?
I think that he honestly sees the same potential that every other rational thinking human being sees when it comes to a money-making opportunity.
And money-making indeed, because you had the best fucking point of it all. If they announced a Pantera reunion, it'd be $1,000 for lawn seats, dude.
Yeah.
And then some for fucking top-notch seats.
Well, of course, we're kind of exaggerating about the prices, but still, you know what?
I bet scalpers would do that shit.
It could potentially be out of control.
Scalpers would definitely have that shit up there.
It would be on pay-per-view, for sure.
That's right, dude. The pay-per-view would be $100.
Yeah.
All your friends are having fucking parties and shit. It's like $25 to get in the door.
Right.
Go to a bar that night. They're like $50. Pantera reunion, motherfucker.
Right. That's right up there with Bill Ward going back to Black Sabbath. Just kidding.
You almost held that one with a straight face. That's fucking funny. But that would be an insane cash cow.
Oh my god, dude! And that's why I think they're building it up by going, no, there'll never be a Pantera reunion. We are prideful.
See, the only one that's actually saying that there will never be a fucking Pantera reunion is fucking Vinny. Phil has said that he's open to it. I don't know. Rex is probably wavering to it.
That whole let the past be the past bullshit.
No, dude, there's got to be some unfinished fucking statements between Vinnie Paul and Rex Brown after Rex Brown slammed him so hard in his fucking book. You know what?
Who cares? You're not trying to be friends. You're just going out to do a tour to make some money.
You don't even have to be on the same bus. You have to
Take
be
your
in
own
the same
bus.
You have to be in the same breathing distance as the fucking two dudes for an hour or two.
Right. You jam some classics, you make a ton fuck, everybody wins at the end, then you go back to hating each other, no problem.
And a special stipulation in there in case anytime, he's like, right, Vinny? On the mic, or they're like, Vinnie Paul, he's like, he owes me $1 million.
Wow, that's a little extreme.
I'd put that in there just for the fuck of it.
Still, though, money will make their differences be set aside at some point. It's going to be for a good cause. It's going to be for the Dimebag Foundation. They're going to try to bring awareness to something.
Rockers getting shot on stage.
Whatever. Yeah, they're going to bring it. Yeah. Humans against rockers getting shot on stage.
Humans against rockers.
I'm for it, dude. We should start that before anybody else does.
Copyrighted and trademarked. Right there. You heard it first, people.
Oh, that's funny. I'm going to write that down later.
You really should. These ideas that you have that nobody calls you for, you should really fucking write these down. Write that down.
Yeah, it's a good thing I archived the show.
That's true.
That and Facepalm Death, dude. We're going to be rich.
Facepalm Death, dude. That's that's going to be the new summer tour right there.
Yep. The Stack and Steel Band. We're getting it back together.
The Stack and Steel Band. Is that Stack and Steel, or is that Stack and? Are we going to do an ampersand?
Oh, the ampersand, of course.
The ampersand, of course.
It'll be, it's like, people are like, oh my gosh, it's the dudes from Vorpal from back in 1992.
92?
No, wow. I was going to say 2000.
Yeah, that was about then. Yeah. 99, 2000, somewhere around there. That's fucking funny. Yeah. The dude's from Vorpal.
Not a Vorpal reunion.
Well,
God!
We would have to reanimate someone to do that, but maybe two, including the drummer.
No, fuck it. One of them's better left where he is.
The drummer?
Well, I don't know.
Or the bass player.
He has his own gig going on. We don't want to disturb him. I don't think that he could probably fit coming to our reunion show.
Do you think that he would be able
to? Schedule.
Do you think that he would be able to physically handle that, a la Bill Ward?
Let's just call him, for the sake of this conversation, Tom Warbucks. I just pulled that name out of thin air. It has no direct association with the person who we're talking about. Yeah.
Right out of fucking thin air.
Tom Warbucks is a busy man and doesn't have time
He's too busy counting his cash.
Right. To be bothered
what was I thinking?
With a Vorpal reunion?
Vorpal. Who?
Yeah, a Vorp what? Is that an e-cigarette? I don't never heard of that.
Is that like vaping?
Thanks, Tom Warbucks.
Wouldn't that be shitty if he's listening right
And
now?
he's going to sue the fuck out of me.
Defamation of character.
He's all, now you know why they call me Tom Warbucks.
You'll be hearing from my lawyer.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Attorney Warbucks.
Attorney Warbucks.
And Fiscal Sense.
We fleece him and how? Oh, man.
It's a beautiful thing. I love it.
Let me see here. Tom Warbucks.
Yeah. Yeah, but Tom Warbucks was a great drummer. I don't know if he's still doing that, but...
It's funny because it's true. No, yeah, he was a killer. He was a pounder.
Yeah.
Very much on
beers.
And, yeah.
Oh, he played drums, too.
Yeah, that's right. He played the skins.
Yeah.
And the drums. Because I remember there being many a romp.
Oh, my God, dude. You think he was a lead guitar player or something.
Or a singer.
Right.
I'm just saying, the man laid more pipe than fucking J.C. Plumbers.
Oh, shit. He did. Even in your house, in your...
In the bathroom.
In the bathroom.
Fucking, they were notorious for that, dude.
Right, in the bathroom.
Anywhere. Whatever.
Oh, is
bathroom.
this your kitchen?
Yeah. Sorry, did you need to go? Hurry up in there. I gotta go number 2.
Am I fucking on your counterboard?
Is this your cutting board right here?
My bad. I didn't even see.
Let me put this Ginsu back.
You know, when the moment hits, you gotta strike. You know? I'm like a fucking shark, you
like
see.
A fucking cobra.
I smell blood. And I
reared
hit
back.
Yep.
I'm a shark. I smell blood. Fuck.
You know what? Maybe not the blood thing.
Oh, I see what you did. Hey, PMS jokes are not funny.
I'm a fucking llama and I smell grass.
PMS jokes are not funny. Period.
Right. I got that. Funny both times, though.
Pun. I'm a punny kind of guy.
Oh, you don't want to throw it out there a third time?
What, that PMS jokes aren't funny, period? In case you want to throw your own puns out
That's
there, it's
Stack
805-409-8585 to call in. Only call when we're yapping our flaps, though.
Oh, yeah. There's like 4 minutes to call in, so if you want to call in before our next interview, that's totally cool. We will belittle you and degrade you for calling in to our show. We're like,
good luck,
you have
fucker.
nothing better to do with your free time than to call in the stupid internet show.
Good luck, fucker.
Yeah. Of course, the phone line is jammed, so... Even if you were trying to... We're really selective about who we take calls from.
We're kind of selective about that shit.
Yeah.
We have a screener.
If you got a sexy phone number... I'm not sure what that number would constitute, but...
Something with a 1 at the beginning. That's always sexy.
1, like a Swingin' Johnson?
Well, no, all phone numbers start with 1.
Well, number 1 by itself just hangs there like a Swingin' Johnson.
I thought it stands proud like a proud Johnson.
Mine does. I see what you're doing.
Dare I?
Ah, fuck it.
Why not, huh?
Good times. So, you know, we have Jason coming in.
McMaster.
Jason McMaster from Dangerous Toys. And we have some really good questions. We were doing a little bit of research, and we were pretty surprised on what we found. So, this is going to be good. That's going to be coming up at 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. In about 20 minutes.
Ish.
So, I don't know much. What are you doing there?
I'm trying to figure out this one right here.
Don't figure things out, man. That'll throw you off track. That's what you do when the lock talk button is turned off.
Well, you know, just wanted to check it out there.
Yeah, or blowing up.
I don't know if you want to say that. Dude, I just got a great idea, too. I can't say it on air, though.
Those are the best. It's so bad you can't say it on air. Because I've said some shit on here. I'm just saying.
You've said some shit. I'm the one that's gotten fucking threatened, or gotten Jukes threatened with legal action.
Hey, you know, in the event that my sister Steele is listening, do we have any
Sister Steele?
Do we have any good Florida jokes? Or any good... for some reason, I just want to hammer on Florida. I don't know. It pops up every now and again when we're doing the show.
It is a common theme. Maybe we should make that like its own fucking its own segment.
What crazy thing is happening in Florida?
Was it Florida or truth?
Florida. No, I'm just kidding.
Florida. I'm from Florida. I moved to Florida.
You know what? Incidentally, the first time I ever heard of anybody going crazy on bath salts was an incident in Florida.
In Florida, yeah. Where the dude like ate the dude's face or some shit.
Yeah. Brutal.
Something fucking crazy, dude.
Bath
Something
salts.
fucking metal.
Yeah. Well, what? I don't know.
Dude, what about that dude fucking blowing off that other dude's fucking head and wearing his skull bits as a necklace?
Mayhem?
Yeah.
And then sending his his skull bits to other people in different bands as well to wear as mementos?
That's true.
That's not weird
Is
at
that
all.
like the black metal horse head?
Imagine, no, there was people who were commenting on, when they got that, they were like, what do I have here? And it wasn't until later that they found out that it was actually pieces of that dude's skull.
They're like, oh, damn, I shouldn't have thrown that away.
Yeah. Or I'm wearing it currently. That's a little creepy.
I ate that.
It's not a suppository? No, it's not a suppository.
No, it's not.
Ozzy, stop trying to do... No, I'm just kidding.
Ozzy, stop trying to put other bits of skull fragments up your fucking ass.
Right.
Ozzy.
Man, not that I'm hammering on Ozzy. It's just he does a lot of drugs, and he probably does it in different ways, and he could have mistaken the bone fragment.
Is there any kind of drug that you can do out there fucking anally?
I think that you could shove anything in your butt, can't you?
And get fucked up?
Like half a sheet of LSD. I don't know what that would...
Fucked up?
Why not? I mean, it would get into your bloodstream, right?
Eventually, but it'd have to swim through a bunch of shit to get there.
This is what I wonder. If you were propped upside down and somebody shoved a full beer in your butt and just let it go, would you get fucked up?
1?
Okay, 5. If they dump 5 beers up your butt,
I don't know, man.
you
That's
better
something
get
to
into some
ponder.
metal, dude. This is creeping me out.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. What's up, everybody? We are back live and loud. You are listening to Metalocity. We are your hosts. I'm Steven Steele.
Stack the Ripper.
And we still got an hour to go on this crazy adventure. Coming up in just a few minutes, we have Jason... what was his last name? McMaster. Like the supply company, McMaster Car. Huh? I think I would remember that.
No, yeah.
Jason McMaster from Dangerous Toys. We just heard some Dangerous Toys. That's pulling it back, huh?
That's funny because the associated acts with him are Godzilla, spelled G-A with an umlaut, H-D, Motor Company.
Right. You know what? Let's just go ahead and throw out there. He hasn't called in yet. We have probably a couple minutes before he does. But what you discovered when we were doing some research about that tour.
So,
because I find that really interesting. I'd be interested.
Unnamed sources here. Would you, as a metalhead, go to a Judas Priest, Alice Cooper Motorhead? How bitchin' of a tour is that as a metalhead? And would you go to it?
I fucking hate Alice Cooper.
Okay, well.
No. Oh,
God damn it.
I'm just kidding. I thought you were saying Alice in Chains for a second.
No. Alice Cooper. Alice Cooper. Yeah, okay. Well, hang on. I got to turn on the
So
dude's
wait, what
mic
was
here.
it? Judas Priest,
Judas Priest,
Alice Cooper,
Excellent
Cooper,
and Motorhead.
and Motorhead. Yeah, I mean, I've already seen all that.
Would you go?
Sure, why not?
Okay, now how about in the summer of 1991? Would you have gone?
No, because I was 11.
You were metal at 11, weren't you?
Yeah,
Okay,
but it's not like I'm buying concert tickets, bro.
That's a question better directed to me then, since I'm older. Yeah, I would have gone to a show like that.
Would
yeah,
I mean,
I
like,
was in high school. That's
I mean, seriously though. I mean, ouch. But I mean, like Judas Priest, Cooper, and Motorhead. That's a hell of a fucking lineup.
especially in 1991.
It folded after 10 weeks as the summer's biggest flop.
Was Metallica also touring?
That's exactly what I said. Yep.
And in the summer of 91, Metallica was touring everywhere. But I mean, like,
Yeah. They were competing with something that was just, out of their control.
Well, I mean, okay, I'll
the
find out
only
exactly.
reason.
I'll find out exactly where Metallica was during the summer of '91.
Well, you know
but
what?
seriously though, even if Metallica was touring in '91, who were they touring with?
It'll be interesting to get Jason's perspective on this.
That's true.
So, and that's why we bring that up, is because that was actually one of the questions. Well, formulated somehow, but that was one of the questions we were gonna
How
pose.
did that flop?
Yeah, what were some of his thoughts on why that would be the case? Let's see, 91, maybe it was Metallica.
But they weren't.
Isn't that the Metallica Guns N' Roses tour?
No, that was '92.
Oh,
Yeah. I'll find out where fucking
Yeah, I love that story. Let's just talk about that real quick. We got like a minute left. Dave Mustaine.
All you saw was Dave Mustaine. You're like, yeah.
No, I actually saw this story before.
He's this year's Golden God.
Yep, Dave Mustaine is this year's Golden God.
He follows the likes of Ozzy, Lemmy, Dio,
Kirk Hammett.
No, I don't know who the fourth one was. It was Ozzy, Dio, Lemmy. Fuck, was there a fourth? Yeah, because this year's got to be the fifth, right?
Mustaine is a golden god of metal there.
Yeah.
He's like the foundation.
He's the golden-haired god of metal. That's funny. I don't know.
Oh, okay. So it's the London Metal Hammer Golden Gods.
Oh, okay. That don't mean shit.
I don't know if that'll. I don't know if that'll transfer over into the.
Yo, how's that much in American money or American Golden Gods?
Let's see here.
And I love it. They count some of the albums that they list, like Countdown to Extinction and Peace Cells and stuff.
You mean the Menza era?
Yeah. Who was on those bitchin' albums?
Nick Menza.
That's right. Give a brother a signable fucking deal, man.
And Marty
No,
Friedman.
the reason Megadeth is big is the albums that have Nick Menza.
Yeah.
Right, I completely agree. Fucking Countdown to Extinction was huge for them.
Fuck yeah.
Dude, that was, what, 91, 92?
Yeah.
So that was my first favorite Megadeth record.
Yeah, actually, mine was So Far So Good So What, but
Peace Cells was one of my favorites.
Right?
I think the first one that was like I heard that amongst the back catalog because I went back and I had heard about them on the Countdown to Extinction.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's when I first heard about them.
Yeah, for me it was So Far So Good because they did a cover of Anarchy in the UK and it was everywhere. Everybody was listening to that, and I was like, oh shit. Yeah.
But around like around 11 or 12 is when I first heard of Megadeth, though.
Right.
So, see, Metallica's touring schedule in 1991.
You're like clickety clickety clickety.
Yeah, I know.
You need a keyboard cover.
No, it's just.
Oh, that's a good idea. A keyboard cover. That way you could type all you want.
Dude, the mic is right next to it. It could be a lot worse.
Could it? I'm just kidding. Yeah, I guess it could, yeah.
Come on. My shit's hanging up right now, though.
That happens when you get older.
No, not that shit. Well, it's lower than usual. Huh. Uh-oh. We got a call, though.
All right. Let's see what's up. If we can connect.
Yeah. I thought I did. Hello? Hello? You are on air with Metalocity.
Hello, it's Jason McMaster.
Hey, man. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you guys?
We're just hanging out.
Just metal.
Right, doing a show. So,
all right.
It's cool. You guys
are you guys in, where are you guys? Ventura?
Southern California, Ventura area.
We sure are. Exactly. Good call.
805. So.
Right. Right. Yep, so that's cool. You guys are getting ready to celebrate your 30th, huh?
Say that again?
You guys are getting ready to celebrate your 30th year in the business, huh? As Dangerous Toys.
Wow. You guys can do math. I didn't plan on celebrating that, but I guess we have to now, huh?
Well, yeah, we went and dropped it like that.
Well, that's kind of cool.
Hell yeah, it is.
I started playing with those guys in '87.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
28 years ago.
That's cray cray.
Yep.
Yeah, 30 years.
Wow. And you guys have had comparatively minimal lineup changes.
And that's pretty cool.
Yeah, compared to the Bullet Boys.
No, we had an interview earlier where the guy had like a veritable list of former members. It was just like every year they were coming out with like a new lineup.
Yeah, so a lot of fans, they really like to see their favorite bands stick together as the best as they can to the original lineup that that got them out there in the first place. And
well, if you can do it,
right?
If you can not kill each other or
right.
Whatever it is. I mean,
all that talk about a Guns N' Roses reunion is ridiculous.
You know what? It's interesting. We were talking about this about another band, but money has a way of helping people put differences aside, and so I mean, there could be a potential.
Yeah, it does. But Axl didn't even want to go to the Rock and Roll.
Well, yeah, that's
Hall of
true.
Fame induction if he was going to have to be on stage with those dudes
or sit at the same table.
Right, that is a good point.
Right, but he did write an eloquent letter, which I actually took the time to read, that he sent to the New York Times, which was very well written, and it made me understand what he meant. Meanwhile, I had people looking over my shoulder going, he needs to get over it. Right. And I think that you have to see both sides of how that makes a person feel, just as much as he needs to get over it,
Right.
I wasn't a way too liberal, I guess, but I understand it. Something seriously bad must have gone down for those guys to not be able to get over it.
For sure, right?
Yeah. Same with Skid Row,
Yeah, they're having problems right
Something
now.
Something seriously dark must have happened for those guys to say, fuck you,
Yep. And that's tough, when that happens to a band like that, and sometimes differences can't be set aside. And when they turn down, like you brought up, the fact that Axl wouldn't even go on to the awards because if he had to be on stage with the guys from Guns N' Roses, it must have been terrible.
Yeah, it must have been. The Toys, it's been pretty much the same nucleus. The four of us, anyway, that recorded the first record are still doing it. And, it's been that second guitar player, which has been like a Ferris wheel,
Huh. So tell us a little bit about the history of the band. What brought you guys together initially?
Dangerous Toys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in this, like, arguably the first progressive thrash metal band called Watchtower from May of 1982 until pretty much right up until I was sort of bought out from Watchtower by Dangerous Toys. Gladly. I mean, it wasn't like an argument or anything weird. I wasn't like auctioned off. It was, right. It was semi-amicable.
It's a good way to put it.
I was doing that for 7 or 8 years, the Watchtower thing, and started working with other people, doing other side project sort of stuff. And the idea was for me to just kind of fill in for these guys that had a girl singer that they recently lost, and till they could find somebody permanent. And these guys were just kind of acquaintances of mine, and I was like, sounds like fun, that's cool, do some cover songs, maybe write a couple things, that'd be fun, that's cool. Right. Do something totally different than Rush on Speed, jazz metal kind of thrashy stuff,
Right.
It's kind of cool. Sing some rock and roll for something different, 6 months later, got a record deal. So
that's cool.
It was just a crazy turn of events.
Rest just
freak out. Never happened in a million years. Finally happened. In your face. So, and that's off the coattails of Guns N' Roses and popularity that Appetite had. After Appetite had already been out for about a year, all the labels were, when it finally hit, it was like the dam broke, and every label needed a Guns N' Roses. It's just how it was. Just like a few years later, everybody needed a Nickelback or a Pearl Jam or whatever, right? Same shit.
Right, I remember those times.
We know that, and we're having fun with the fleeting moments that we had. Lucked out, sold enough records to be able to do it 30 years later. Thank you very much. But that's pretty much in a nutshell what happened. I was doing other things. Those guys had songs already. They were like a touring sort of circuit cover band. They would go from Texas to Tennessee and back, and they lost their singer and wanted to keep the gigs they had, and I was available to go do that, and then all of a sudden I was unavailable to Watchtower because we, had some offers we couldn't refuse.
Right.
Are y'all there?
Yeah. We were just listening. Yeah,
okay,
and that's cool. Because back then, you're right. I remember, like you said, when Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction was released. You're right. There was all of a sudden a huge popularity boost in music at that time, and and that's cool because I was actually into that stuff, so it all worked out for me. We were looking at this one article with Wikipedia, and we wanted to run it by you because we thought it was interesting. You got that pulled up?
Yeah. You guys were on the tour with Judas Priest, Alice Cooper, and Motorhead in '91, correct?
Correct.
And that it baffled us to find out that it folded after 10 weeks as the summer's biggest flop. That should have been
according to Wikipedia. Sometimes you can't say, what Wikipedia says isn't necessarily the truth. So we just wanted to see what your thoughts were on that, and why that would
pan out that way.
Yeah.
Well, '91 was around the time that, even though Guns N' Roses was still hot shit, and Metallica had, between Guns N' Roses, Metallica, and even White Zombie, and Nine Inch Nails, and the beginnings of what bad media slang called grunge.
Right.
Was starting, all these walls that radio were breaking down, and, they finally had to play heavy, dark, apocalyptic metal as well as just weird hard rock like Nine Inch Nails or whatever on the fucking radio. They finally had to do it. So, not to get off subject here, I think that had anything and everything to do with, Operation Rock and Roll happening right when all those dams were breaking. It was a ditch effort for Sony Music because all the bands, Metal Church, Dangerous Toys, Motorhead, Alice Cooper, and Judas Priest were all on Sony Music.
That's a great lineup.
And, Columbia or Epic.
Right.
Whatever. And it was a ditch effort for the label to sort of, you could say they were cleaning house. They were, changing the diaper, whatever you want to call it. And all of the people who write Wikipedia entries and articles about, a history lesson and why, what, who, how of this stuff that that just makes up the question you're asking me. I was there. I was on the shows. I had a great time. Some of the venues were not full, but I will tell you, on my itinerary, only 2 shows canceled. 3 tops, if my memory is correct.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of...
That's pretty good out of 30 shows.
Right.
It's pretty good.
So but that's what I was saying.
There were lack of ticket sales, on, like I said, 2, 3, enough for it to cancel. Then there were. I'm trying to not backpedal too bad here, but I have to say this because it kind of goes with everything.
Sure.
There were a handful of shows where Metal Church and Motorhead were not on the bill.
Oh, okay.
And I don't really, to this day, know how or why Motorhead and Metal Church were dropped from the bill and not Dangerous Toys. Why wouldn't they keep Motorhead on the bill? Why wouldn't they, I think that we were actually outselling, it was by a technical, what records, who was selling records, units those weeks that those shows canceled.
Well, that's awesome.
And I think that our record was selling not great, but well enough to keep us on the bill instead of Motorhead, at least.
You know, and that's awesome.
That just sounds like a sin to me, because Motorhead, in their own right, is probably more deserving than Dangerous Toys to be on the bill. You know.
But when you think about it, you know, and I get what you're saying. That, you know, all respect to right, but at the same time, that's got to feel pretty good knowing that, you know, people were buying your guys' music and people were wanting to come to your guys' shows and supporting and stuff. So, you know, over Motorhead. To the point where they would no longer be on the bill, and it would still be, you know, Dangerous Toys at that time.
Well, and I'm not even bragging. I think that I'm more or less saying I'm such a Motorhead fan that I think Motorhead should have stayed on the bill instead of us. But it didn't happen that way. You know, I'm always learning things, especially back then, about how this shit works, and it's almost unfair. It's just almost not right at all. But hey, man, business is business, and I get that too.
Right.
I mean, Motorhead was probably outselling in merchandise. Motorhead was probably outselling Alice Cooper at least.
Yeah, because they have that iconic status.
Everybody wants a Motorhead shirt.
Exactly.
Those Alice Cooper shirts look like shit.
Right. Too many colors and
they
shit.
They were crap. Yeah. The shit with Hey Stupid all over it. Come on, 91 was Hey Stupid. Y'all know that record?
Yeah. But isn't that also the same album that he had like Steve Vai and Joe Satriani on?
Who cares?
Yeah. If the songs suck, you know, I guess it doesn't matter who's in it.
You know, poison, running. You know, come on, dude.
For sure. You know what?
And the same song, Feed My Frankenstein, poison. Feed my... I don't know, man. I don't know. It's not Alice's greatest moment.
I change it when I hear it on the radio.
I'm a huge Alice Cooper fan. I watched Alice every night. I've stomached through those bad songs so I could hear Welcome to My Nightmare and Under My Wheels and Hello Hooray, you know. So, but those T-shirts were ugly. Everyone wanted a Motorhead shirt.
For sure. It's probably
anyway. It was a great experience for Dangerous Toys. It was a great experience for me personally because
that was awesome.
I've toured with my idols now. I have rubbed elbows with gods of rock.
Right. To jam on the same stage on that lineup. It's insane to even
be able to think about that. So
that's killer. So, did you guys have any?
Because I'm just a dude. So, you know, growing up on that shit and then being able to be on stage with them is fucked up, man. It's like, wow. So, next question. Let's move.
So you got a new band out there, Broken Teeth?
15 years.
Right, dude.
New band.
We've played
15 years.
We've played them on the show before, actually. Killer band, actually.
Awesome. Yeah, I love it. It's fun. Writing the songs is fun because we're not afraid to wear our influences on our sleeves. And you know what you're going to get from the first note you hear. And that's what I love about Broken Teeth.
For sure. That's
you guys sound like AC/DC. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's killer.
Yeah.
That's definitely, you can rock out to that music. That's cool.
But I have other stuff going on too. I'm in a band called Evil United. I'm in a band called Igniter. And those are more metal, thrash metal, power metal shit.
Right on.
But Broken Teeth has a new record coming out that I don't have a release date yet, but it's called Bulldozer. There's been no press on it yet. It's like an EP. There's only 7 songs. A couple of the songs are cover songs, but it's going to be out on blue vinyl.
Oh, cool.
Before it'll be available even digitally or on CD. It'll be available on vinyl.
Now you said it's got a couple of covers on there. It
has a couple cover songs on
it. It also said on Wikipedia that you did some guest vocals on the Shadows Fall cover of Teasing Pleasing. Is that true? Or?
God, that was a long time ago. Yeah, a long time ago. The Shadows Fall guys are big Dangerous Toys fans. And they... I've hung with them a few times, and and played some shows out in Massachusetts where they're from, and they have side projects and done shows with their side projects. Anyway, they just called me and said, hey, man, we want to cover Tease and Please. And I was like, holy shit, okay, cool.
That's cool.
So, and then they said, but we want you to sing it. I'm like, well, as long as Brian sings some shit on there too, you know. So the deal was from them to fly me the track, you know, email me the track. And it's, you know, it's detuned, so it's heavy as shit. You know, blah, 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 blah. It's different. But they really didn't change the map of the song. It's pretty much feels the same. It's just, you know, heavier because it's lower, right?
Right.
And so I cut the vocal and sent it back, and they, you know, they were very pleased. And then when it came out, it's like I'm the only vocal on there. I'm like, where's, you know, I called them and was like, dude, where's Brian's vocal? It's like, oh man, he didn't want it. We listened to it and didn't need it. It didn't need anything. I was like, oh, all right. What am I supposed to do? Get mad at you guys? Anyway, they paid me $1 to do that.
Man.
Paid you $1?
Well, they contracted, you know, they made me sign a contract that I wouldn't try to go collect on it, you know, and on the performance royalty on it. And the contract said that you know, that they're paying me $1. But the funny thing is I never even got the $1. That's pretty badass.
That's metal right
That's
there.
like Final Tap shit right there. It's awesome.
Oh man. So,
but great guys, and that was a lot of fun. And you know, it's an honor for a newer type, sort of, you know, metal band that's, you know, cites you as an influence wants to do one of your songs. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
for sure. And clearly, you have a lot of history. It'd be cool to have you, if you're interested, to come on the show again, so we can cover some of your other bands and stuff that you have going on. So because you've been in this business, you know, for so long, you've seen the evolution of music and music industry, you know. And what are some of your thoughts, you know, for better or worse, of the current state of the situation?
I think that there's a generation that feels like music should be free now.
That does seem to be growing.
And I think that it's because of technology that they feel like music should be free now. Now, I like technology. I like how easier it is to be immediately satisfied because of technology. I think that that's cool. But I also think that they're missing the ritual. And the ritual is the amazement of when you hear a song, when you physically have to release something from a package.
Right.
And
kind of
it's of enough size to where you hold it in your hands.
Yeah.
And lay it on another device and put a needle in the groove. It's almost like alchemy. There's a spiritual thing that I think that happens, not to go hippie shit on you, but I think that it's important to be a music fan and know that there's some dudes that sat around and wrote the fucking songs, and you know, they bought a guitar, they bought strings, they bought picks, they plugged it in, and they wrote a song and recorded it, and now it's in your face.
Yeah.
And
speaking of the human condition,
you stood in line and used your money from your shitty job to buy it so you could get this sort of like, you know, sort of go into a fog of magic.
Sure, I call it the zone. I know what you mean.
Yeah, you're not appreciating that. Fast forward to now, if you're part of the generation that never experienced any of that, or learned it from an older brother or uncle, or had rock and roll parents or whatever who were always musical. And if music is an accessory for you, you missed out on the whole idea of what it's supposed to do for your soul. And so when, I'm all over the place here when I say this, but when Lars Ulrich went up against Napster,
right, that was big.
It wasn't until I received money I thought I'd never, ever, ever see. I received money from places I didn't know existed after Lars did that. And I was like, oh, shit, he was right. People have been stealing my shit, too. And so here we are. People still think that, there is a generation that feels like music and entertainment should be free.
Right.
Because they missed on the ritual. Right. They missed the idea. They missed it that, the witch has to pour all the ingredients in the cauldron and stir that shit before you drink it. So you better enjoy it.
Sure. Not to be devil's advocate, but for a lot of independent bands out there, it can, with the amount of new music that's coming out lately, it's really the most popular way to get it out there. And people really, depending on, if like I'm referring to independent bands, it's just a tool to get exposure to hopefully reach that next level. More as they're thinking that, well, they're stealing my music. So, I mean, it could be a double-edged sword, right?
I mean, was there really any of a difference between the tape trading scene, though, back in the day?
I used to collect and trade tapes.
Absolutely none at all. I was just going to bring that up.
Just on a smaller scale, maybe.
You can talk about as early as 1980, maybe 81, where people were, making cassette tapes and throwing them around and, playing a show and making sure everyone left with a demo, a tape, a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy. So, that created scenes. That's the reason, that's the way your band got a fucking record deal.
Right, getting out there.
You gave your music away. But it doesn't mean don't go buy the record.
Well, I agree. I mean, ultimately, I agree with that. You should definitely, if you're fans of bands, that's how they can continue to bring the music that you like, is by supporting them, by going to shows and buying, merchandise.
Right.
But
I'm not even complaining about. I mean, people don't walk around and give out their record for free. You know what I mean? It's like, hey man, here's a couple songs. If you like it, come back to our show and buy a T-shirt. Right. God forbid, go to the record store and buy a record.
I'm definitely one of those guys that actually likes getting an actual, CD in his hands and like inspecting the cover and reading all the fucking thank yous and shit like that. I'm just that guy.
I'm that guy too. I like opening it up and flipping through the thing.
That's the ritual.
Seeing
that's
what exactly
the ritual I'm talking about.
If I miss a word, I can look it up real quick, see what's up. Yep. And unfortunately, I mean, I agree with your assessment that really that is something that's sort of going by the wayside in this MP3 generation.
Yeah, the MP3 generation is a little more readily available media.
And the quality of the music can be deteriorated to the point where it's, it sounds pixely. I mean, I don't know if I can say that, but it sounds digital. You can hear the digital sounds. It doesn't, like cymbals don't ring out the way they would on an album, stuff like that, depending on the quality.
Getting the album made it that much more coveted that you had like a bootleg version of it, though,
Exactly.
Well, when you record, you should take some time and get some tone when you record. And I do think that there's, I think that records are being made with tone. And, if you can stand to not listen to a very thin-sounding MP3 comparatively, then do it. But, if you want to download a song, I'm not against like I said in the beginning of this, I'm not against technology whatsoever. I'm totally cool with where we are as a society and the way that we watch movies and listen to music. I'm cool.
Tools of improvement.
But I just think that there needs to be. It can't be said. enough about, where it comes from and what it's really supposed to feel like when you think about it. I'm worried about it just being worse and worse, where the younger generation just doesn't even give a shit at all.
Yeah, and it does seem to be going
they already
that way.
want it to be free.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, do you want, if you like music and you want to play music, it's like, it's kind of like I don't want to get off subject too bad. We should probably move on, but it's kind of like people making records and making sounds and saying that their instrument is their laptop.
Right. There is a lot of that. Keyboard warriors.
People making music with downloaded apps that's not a piano or a guitar. It's just it's a space bar.
Yeah.
Quick
copy and paste.
I'd rather hear somebody on the corner banging on a 5-gallon plastic bucket than some of the things that I hear where they're downloading these, plugins and these apps that make all these sounds. And then, even though they are creating melodies and beats and making music that way, they are making music, but it's not a piano, and it's kind of doing it for you. It's quantized, it's locking in. There's time signatures that you can dial up. It's programming.
Right.
It's all programming, and therefore nothing is done by feel. And Led Zeppelin. Two words for you: Led Zeppelin.
There you go.
It's not Led Zeppelin. I want Led Zeppelin.
Hey, so because there's so much information to go, if you're interested, we would like to have you come back on the show. We could maybe reschedule something in the future if you, like I said, if you'd be interested, and we can.
Yeah, just y'all shoot me some emails or something. My email is mcmasterblaster@gmail. We can do this anytime. We can catch up. We can update, whatever you want to do.
Perfect. Yeah, we'll catch back up on some of the history, and then I'd like to get more into some current information on what you're doing currently, and some of the other projects you have going on.
Yeah, check out Evil United. Just go to YouTube and type in Evil United, and there's a bunch of stuff come up. We just did a couple shows with Armored Saint and Saxon.
Oh, cool.
And that was a lot of fun. Yeah. There's a video from the Dallas show we did. Just go to YouTube and type in Evil United Gas Monkey Live. I know that's a shitty name for a bar, but Gas Monkey Live. Evil United Gas Monkey Live, and I think there's at least one song up from that show.
Nice. Do you have
and that's the most recent thing we have. We put out a record, but it came out September last year, and it's all about quality and not quantity. We've only played about 8 shows in support of the record, and we started last year, and we just did a couple more. But
wow. So, do you guys have a
record's
website?
Available on MVD? It's on vinyl, and CD, and you can pretty much get it anywhere. It's on iTunes and shit too.
Oh, that's cool.
There's 2 records. It's the second record. So.
And people can probably just go to dangeroustoys.com. You have that website?
Well, evilunited.net, jasonmcmaster.net.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
dangeroustoys.us is a brand new Dangerous Toys site, still under construction, but all of our tour dates are on there, as well as on jasonmcmaster.net. But anyway, there's a few.
I know.
Too many websites.
Right. Yeah,
social media is taking over.
We were just talking about that earlier. Well, we definitely appreciate you taking the time to hang out with us. I know we didn't get a chance to cover all of our topics, but like I said, we look forward to being able to reschedule and have you coming up, pretty soon on a future date. So we'll
totally cool with me if we do this, in a few weeks, whatever you want to do.
All right, perfect. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
All right, have a good evening, sir.
Thank you, too. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
Nice.
All right. Well, that was kind of a long interview.
That guy's got some opinions.
Right. He seems well-versed.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to get him back on the show. There's a lot of information we can continue to go over.
Yes, sir.
So, without any further ado, we should get into some metal right about now because we're way overdue.
Yep.
Let's do it. Well, metal-like. What's up, everybody? We are back live and loud right here on Metalocity.
Indeed, we are.
Sorry,
backwards there?
Fucking backward headphones. You can't have backward headphones. It throws my mojo off.
It throws off your equilibrium sometimes too, man.
So tonight we got some metal masters.
Oh, do we?
Yep, some good ones.
Uh-oh. I don't like it when you do that shit, dude. You like some good ones. You give me this evil look.
Oh, it's funny because you threw some Napalm Death in there, and we were just making fun of that earlier. So,
were we?
Yeah, we were calling it Facepalm Death. Remember?
Oh well, yeah, but that's gonna be our new album, right? Because what's our or was that the album name, or was that the band name?
There was something really fucking clever. We'll have to listen back to our own show and see what it was.
You really do have to listen to the whole show, and so do we.
Right. Clearly.
Ah, man. We're out of control.
Right, and unfortunately I didn't have time to find any Florida bashing stories. We only got
hindsight's always... We're going to have to make up for it double next week.
I'm sure we can accommodate.
So, Sepultura says Max and Igor are totally different people than I used to know.
That happens with time.
And people.
You can count on that.
And on the flip side of it, Igor Cavalera said that playing with Sepultura felt like a job.
Here we go.
Instead of, having fun. I mean, you're in a band to be fucking, obviously relevant and cool and shit, but...
Is that why you're in a band, to be relevant and cool?
Well, I mean, that's why you try and make new music, right?
Is it? To be relevant and cool? Well, now we know where your priorities are, sir.
As a band, don't you want to be relevant and cool?
Well, you want
or are
that
you just hipster?
You want that to evolve on its own. Because when you are awesome and cool, you don't have to hope to be awesome and cool. It just happens on its own. But if you spend too much energy hoping on being awesome and cool, you'll never really be awesome and cool because your energy's focused in the wrong direction. Focus on just being,
yourself.
Right. And making your music, from the soul.
Well, look what happens when Dave Mustaine does that shit. He makes Super Collider.
Wrong soul. Sell your soul to the devil, and then search your soul for simple answers. No.
But yeah, you're in a band, and it ends up being like work.
Well, yeah, that can happen.
That sucks.
If you lose the passion, then...
I don't think he lost the passion. He just said it was just more tedious than ever. They were...
All right, because they were too popular, having too much fun doing all those drugs and chicks and shit, going on tour everywhere.
I don't know if they were doing drugs and chicks or nothing.
Yeah. No, I'm sure they weren't.
I know. He's had a wife for a while.
Oh, then for the radio's sake, yeah, I agree. He probably didn't. Yeah. Wink, wink.
Yo, we got your back.
Right. Nobody's listening. It's cool.
He says, I was really bored. It felt like a job. Like I was going to the bank. I was like, fuck, I gotta go.
To the bank. You like how he puts that? I was so disappointed with going and cashing all those checks I was getting from, doing gigs. Right. It may have been just a job, but it was a fucking paying job, so I would relax with all the negativity.
Says he really enjoys doing the tours and playing shows. It's tough sometimes, but like traveling and everything, shows are always amazing. It's always fun. With Cavalera Conspiracy.
Of course it is. And you're getting paid. Why is this guy complaining?
That's with Cavalera Conspiracy. That was after.
Oh.
He said,
let me guess, he's not doing much now?
He's doing Cavalera Conspiracy.
Oh.
Pressed whether Sepultura's musical direction at the end of his tenure, if he was tired of it. He said probably that too. It's one of the reasons also I jumped into doing Mix Hell. I guess he's doing electro hip-hop. Featuring Igor and his wife.
Oh, his wife made him do it, huh?
Probably, like a Yoko thing.
Yep. She's like, honey, you're going to do this. I don't want to hear that metal anymore. If you love me.
Oh, ouch. He said whether he had a chance to see Sepultura perform with the band's current drummer. He said, no, man, I don't like talking about dead people. They're dead, you know. It's not fair. That's fucking weird that you fucking put it that way.
Oh, he's a weird kind of dude.
What the hell is this that I'm looking at here?
I don't know. It's radio. People can't tell what you're looking at.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was going to try and describe it. But Pandemonium Cavalier Conspiracy Pandemonium World Tour. But it's in another language. Oh, that's a good combo. Budweiser and Monster present fucking...
How have they not made that into a beer yet?
Monster beer?
Monster plus Budweiser.
Let's get into some heavy metal masters.
Yeah.
Right now. All right, and that's it for us. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to tonight's show. Be sure to tune in next week when we have our rescheduled interview with Nick Menza's manager. Nick Menza being the former drummer of Megadeth.
Of all their bitchin' albums.
Right, of the relevant albums. So you're not going to want to miss that. We're actually going to be pre-recording that this Tuesday and then airing it next Thursday. So that's going to be cool. And thanks to Jason from Dangerous Toys for calling in.
And Count William.
Yeah, Count William from which I said it wrong last time.
Witchcross and Ravensthorn.
Right. I tried to combine the two.
Which was actually kind of funny.
And we will catch you guys all right here next week on Kosher Metal. So check us out at Metalocity.net for some of our pictures and past archive shows and things that are up and coming or have gone by the wayside. I'm not sure if we've updated the website. Did you get that interview I sent you, Unnamed Source?
Oh, wait, I gotta... One more time there?
Wait. Nobody can hear you say no that you didn't do it yet. Okay, what was that?
Did you hear what I got?
Oh, no, I meant, is it up on the website?
No.
Oh, there you have it, folks. Our latest interview is not up on the website yet, so be sure to check that out. But we do have some other fun stuff up there.
It'd be a dick.
Just keep it entertaining, my friend.
Oh, too funny.
All right, everybody, we will catch you next week.
Later.